Hey guys, Andy here. So it feels like quite a long time since I reviewed a phone, which kind of led me to a bit of an impulse buy in the form of the Motorola Moto G7 Plus. I say an impulse buy, I've got a bit of a history with the Moto G series. I bought three of the original Motorola Moto G devices. Only one for myself, but then I kitted the family out with them. And my mum still to this day sort of complains that any phone I get her now just isn't as good as the Moto G. And it was a great phone. I mean, you paid almost £100, £110, somewhere around there. And it was so slick. The screen was great, the speaker was great. It had a terrible camera. And to an extent, it perhaps wouldn't fly in this day and age. But I still wonder if the original Moto G is still the best sort of bang for buck phone there's ever been. It was just that good, I felt. The two just didn't compare. The three was okay. It's to me, then they never really lived up to what the Moto G, the original Moto G, did. But I have hope in the G7 Plus. Will perhaps relive some of the amazement that I had from the original. So let's cut away. And so this was off Amazon for about £270. The Plus is the bigger, better version that you can get. There are a variety of those that, I'll be quite honest, kind of confuse me a little bit this day and age. There's a Power with a massive battery, but the specs aren't very good. I think there's the regular G7, which is okay. It's not that far different from this, I don't think, but just not quite as good. And this one being the Plus. So the first thing I can tell you actually is it comes with a case look. You can see it there. I could feel it before I got it out. So I think that's a very tight fitting case actually. Is that a fingerprint sensor or is that just... We will see. Maybe if I take the case off I'll be able to tell. Oh no, yeah, I think it's a fingerprint sensor. Oh my word, that's stuck in there quite firm. Yeah, it looks to be a fingerprint sensor. That's quite a nice colour. I think it's deep indigo, this one. I'll say somewhere. It looks quite nice. Feels quite nice in the hand, I can tell you that much already. I'm going to leave the case off just for the minute because I'd rather feel the actual device. At the same time, I'm going to pop that over to the side. Let's just check. Hello, Moto. Just check what else we have in the box. So, a README. I don't think we will. We've got a SIM eject tool, as you would imagine. Well, that's interesting. So we've got a, what's that, European plug? Which I don't remember it mentioning on the Amazon listing. Turbo power. And then obviously we've got a micro USB, USB type C. It's actually C to C. It does have 27 watts turbo charging, or fast charging. Just to double check, I think that's everything. That's fine, so we can pop that away. Pop that all back together and put that aside. Yeah, so 27 watt charging sounds pretty good. What else can we learn off the front here? Optical image stabilization, which is quite good for a phone of this price. Dual camera system. So yeah, 16 megapixel on the back. There's a 16 megapixel and a 5 megapixel. Is that what it said? Yeah, the 5 megapixel being just a depth sensor really. It's a 6.2 inch Full HD Plus LTPS IPS LCD screen. And as you can see, it's a 19:9 ratio. There's the turbo power charging. The Qualcomm Snapdragon 636, which is kind of their mid-range processor. You know, the 800 being the really top-end one, 600 being the mid-range, and then the 400 being the budget range. And Moto experiences. So I'm holding the power button down as there we go, as I pull off the screen protector and carefully pop that in the box. So you can see straight away there, it's got a teardrop notch. Now I don't mind teardrop notches. I mean, I don't mind notches too much at all. My Huawei Mate 20 Pro has a reasonable size notch to it. Teardrop is preferable, I guess. Hello Moto. Lenovo Moto. And there's a reasonable bezel. It's not bad. I think the screen percent, oh, it's not there. I'm sure it's like 80-something%, which isn't bad. So that's got the power button on the side. Look, we've got a volume rocker just above that. If you can see it on this deep indigo. That's the SIM tray at the very top. Nothing at all down that side. Speaker at the bottom, USB type C, and a headphone jack. Wowzers. Old school. Yeah, that's quite nice. It feels a little slippy, but at the same time, feels a reasonable weight. I didn't actually, let me just check what the weight was. I didn't put that into my notes. It is 176 grams and 8.3 millimeters thick. So that's not bad. That's a sort of fairly standard size these days, really, if we're honest. So I think at this point, it's down to me to get logged in. Get a couple of bits installed. Unfortunately, I'm recording it. The clock's changed next week, and that'll be nice because I'll be able to still go outside and take photos this time. So we'll take a bit of a picture maybe of Deadpool to see how the camera's like in that respect. I'll install Benchmark and we'll run that real quick just to see what it feels like. Right, I'm back. I kind of gave up on it's trying to install an update. I don't actually at this point know what the update is, so we'll see. Maybe it finishes while I'm doing this. You might need to watch through. It's been doing this for ages though, ages. And I got fed up waiting. I thought let's get out and we'll have a look at the phone. So initial impressions, it seems lovely and quick and slick, which kind of is kind of what I hope for from a Moto G. And early impressions are very good. So let's start with YouTube. So the screen looks pretty good. I've got to be careful because it's the visual on these videos that YouTube basically make me take the videos back down. They won't monetize. It's not the audio, which is kind of weird.
Only wanna see her. We drink away the days with a takeaway pizza. Before a text message was the only way to reach her. Now she's staying at my place and loves the way I
And generally that sounds and looks pretty good. Sounds like it is just a mono speaker at the bottom, but it seems to have reasonable volume, so that's a good thing. Right, let's move on to the camera, and I've brought in Deadpool. Select manual mode for professional settings. Swipe right to open the modes. There they are, fine. So there we go. It seemed okay. Seemed reasonably quick. Wasn't too slow on the focus. Looks a slightly hazy image, but to be honest, we're not really going to know how good it's going to be until we get outside. Let's try just a double twist. Yeah, there we go. Active phone. Save a mini clip of the moment. Active photo. Sorry. Hey. So again, seemed quite quick. Doesn't look too bad an image, I wouldn't say. I've got a really itchy eye. It's a bit of bloodshot there. So obviously, I'm going to do better testing of the camera with some videos, some photos. Follow me on Instagram. I'll try to put some of the photos on there. Andrew Andy UK. Obviously, I'll put some sample videos up. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. The last thing I wanted to check really at this point, because this is just the unboxing and the first look, we're not looking to get into too much detail. Is that actually running or not? Yeah, there we go. So last thing I'm going to run is Geekbench 4. Early impressions of the device. I think it looks reasonably nice. I mean, I don't think you would confuse it for a top-end phone. The LCD screen means that it can't have edge-to-edge or bezel-less display, but the screen, LCD screens these days really very good. There's a bit of a bezel down the bottom. I quite like they've tucked in Motorola along the bottom there. That's quite nice. The camera, as I say, we'll have to kind of wait and see how that pans out. But yeah, it seems quite a nice device. I will obviously put it up head to head. I'm probably going to put it up against the Pocophone F1. And I think I still have the Huawei 8X. So I'll try and do like head to head against that. Now what I'm going to do at this point, I'm going to edit out. You don't need to watch this percentage bar go up to 100. It's quite slow these days, Geekbench 4. So I'll stop there and we'll rejoin as it finishes. So it's run the benchmark. I realize I didn't actually go through the specs with you guys. But first of all, let's check the score. 4,771. I can't lie to you, that's not good. That's lower than the Huawei 8X. That's definitely lower than the Pocophone F1. It's above the budget phones, so the Xiaomi Mi A2 Lite was a lot lower, but for 270 that is quite a low score. At the same time, I don't like to put too much into the benchmark score because it's more about the experience, so far it's felt pretty good. So the actual specs, as I sort of didn't mention, so I mentioned the Snapdragon, I think 636, I definitely did. That's a 14 nanometer chipset, so it's, you know, these days they're sort of 7 or 10 for the better devices, but it's not a bad chipset. Octa-core 1.8 GHz Cryo 260, Adreno 509 GPU with 4 GB of RAM. And this one also is dual SIM and will take a micro SD card. From what I see, it's a massive long SIM tray. It's ridiculously large. But yeah, that Geekbench isn't a great score. But again, it does seem nice and slick and smooth. So I'm not overly concerned by the Geekbench score. It's also finally finished my update. We can close Ed. Restart now to update. Brilliant. But even just it's very close to stock, if not actual stock, which is nice. So yeah, I think early indications are quite good for the device. Obviously subscribe or just look out for my review. We'll be along in the next week or so probably, where I'll give you the actual details about my opinion for it. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below, but for now, my name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon. Well done, and thank you for making it to the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, you might want to click the little fellow that should hopefully appear about here to subscribe. You may also want to check out some of my other videos, which are going to appear somewhere there. Also, come and have a look at my website, androidandy.uk. There is also a forum. Come and say hello on the forum. If you've got any questions about things or request me to review things or anything else, just come and have a chat on the forum.